It's already starting out. Well, looks like some of my predictions from the start of the game might be coming true. Wardell literally just rushing up C-Long with his teammate on the Phoenix. I can't even tell that's not Drone, because Drone isn't actually playing the Phoenix. hazed with a kill onto Jerk with a Molotov. Galavant has a trade, but Drone strikes back on that Sova. That's not something we see him on very often, but like let's be honest.
However, it's given the opportunity for Oxygen to really get in there, and now KP holding this angle, be pushing in, gets the kill on the Drone. The spike has been planted.
Of course, he wasn't going to expect the player so close, but that gives up his life. DSK, he's feeling it. He wants to go for more. Another headshot into hazed. Instant trade from Cutler, though, and now 1 versus 1, but he doesn't read the position of the last player, and a free headshot for KP. I really like seeing this. Wardell, he's trapped in garage, but his teammate is actually completely isolated from him unless they break this wall. They're going to have 2 splitting in from the garage side, and 3, it seems like, from the right side of A. But Wardell with 2 picks, of course, it's this man to get all the op kills. Subroza following up as well, and that's a spike down. This is going to be hard for the attack of O2 to remain in this 2 versus 4 for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, the fire has been lit on the side of TSM, and fire tends to choke out Oxygen, but they managed to strike back, taking down Wardell. Spike. So, certainly not out of the game yet. They managed to retrieve a spike, but as soon as that Cypher Cage drops, defenders clean up house. And if Oxygen can be able to adapt here, Galavant can be using those knives early on to start, perhaps try to get some damage.
What? Okay, Jerk just runs into garage and wallbangs Wardell, so that's the Opera gone. He literally runs into C, another headshot with a continuation spray. That's just run it back, so that's not even any health lost, but he might get cut by Drone, and he does. So at least slightly equalized, not quite just yet, mainly because their Cypher is still on A, as well as his teammate, I think Subroza, the only quick response. One of them taken down, knives out, so still Bladestorm ready for that quick engage, but it looks like TSM hard. Okay, now it might be time to call it off. It's the kind of stuff that he's going to start doing. Like, even if he goes down 1 round to a nice Phoenix ult, like, he's just going to challenge. And he goes for more. He misses a shot, though, and Jerk punishes. So that might be one of the reasons that Wardell might have a weakness in some of his ego plays. But Subroza, following up on that, he's good enough to do the same thing as well.
So Drone has the idea, but doesn't get pushed up on, so gets saved for the moment. But the Brimstone caught out, been taken down early on. Drone now going to be making that a comfortable 4v2 situation. Subroza, that's the 3rd for them this round. So far, so good for this Phoenix player.
Yeah, KP's is left all alone here. He was lurking towards A, trying to make something happen, and his entire team just falls around him. And he gets taken from the back, I'm pretty sure.
Which is perhaps the smart play coming through from Oxygen, but we'll see if they can manage to gather themselves and really move forward. They're going to get reconned out by drones, appropriately named Drone. Now they have to take that line of sight loss because of that Cypher Cage coming through. It does give time for TSM to rotate. Really not a lot of point pressure being put down yet, but that spike does sound like it's going down. Will be planted. And
look at that, Subroza just in it with that ultimate, flashing through, gonna clear the Hell player. Cypher has no chance, and the Heaven player to cover as well from all the other angles. This Jet still on site. He doesn't actually get cleared, but finally Wardell has the shot on him.
Yeah, I mean, it was really good for Oxygen to start, but just not able to quite have that follow through, and they allowed the side of TSM to really kind of get comfortable and allow TSM to dictate that fight, it felt. So really, TSM claiming it back from, it was looking like a pretty dominant position from us.
Garage position, but he actually throws a molly in the wrong corner, spotting from GSK, and yeah, because they didn't clear him, Subroza gets a kill, instantly traded, which is really good from him. But plant denied! That player's likely gonna go down, but just a slight miss from Drone. He at least gets some damage on the Sage, and the plant is still going to commence.
Ready to get in there, get aggressive as a unit. hazed taking down the first, and they find the second. No, it's going to be Jerk returning that call. Then responding to the checkerboard here. Cutler actually gets the wall bank coming in. Attackers managed to win this, and fourth line looking a little bit closer to even now.
Same thing, right? Yeah. The other way around. This man, that's not a guy that you just want to blind peek into. Dry peek, that's probably the worst idea in the world. And speaking of dry peeking, they literally just walk into Wardell, but thank goodness for them, there's enough of them to trade that kill instantly. So taking the best offer practically in the world and maybe off the board might be kind of important. Cutler as well, waiting on the sidelines. Finn gets a kill, but Drone trades it again. Not sure if he spotted the 2 players that's outside of garage, and he dinks 1, but gets taken his head off.
Yeah, right now it's just a war of attrition for Supremacy. And they're having to play it back, they're having to just try to keep pressure on, deny a defuse, really play the clock if possible. But Drone taking it wide to DSK with the pistol kill right to the dome.
Self, I feel like. This retake, though, might not even start to happen because they have that ultimate. That res is going to get denied by Cutler again because he's got that angle from heaven. Subroza on the fast flank. He's going to go down the wrong angle, and he might get taken from behind. That's a nice one for DSK to be aware of that one.
And the spike does go down. Kills going back. Both snipers getting one. But Drone getting the two with Jerk and Finn taken down. It is now a 2v1 scenario. DSK gets hit by the start, takes down Drone, then they find the sniper. No, they can't. The defuse comes through. O2 looking so much closer, but not quite good enough yet.
Yeah, that's so close. Literally, they're just trying to entry towards back of garage. I don't entirely know what they're doing. Finn actually gets a nice headshot into Subroza with his Molotov out. And another one following up on a Wardell. Nice shots from Finn and more from DSK. All the headshots right now going in favor of O2, and they take the second pistol of this map.
Trying to hold all on their lonesome, but that's going to be a tough ask for one Sage, and that Sage going to be put in the ground very quickly. Block off more lines of sight, but KP helping their team to strike back.
It's nice that Dirk got one kill. 2 versus 2, so this is actually pretty doable for both sides. I didn't actually realize it got that close, but yeah, nice job by the defensive O2 to get it so close. But yeah, Wardell with the op, looking down the entirety of C-Long. This is going to be really hard if there are no more smokes. Yeah, there's no wall for Dirk, so likely not going to just block off line of sight. If Cypher has cages, maybe there's a possibility, but with this op staring them down, there's not too much of a chance. But Wardell hits shots like that.
Yeah, there's what can you do in that situation? He tries to go for the shot, does not quite land.
Oh no!
This is not looking great for the side of O2.
After he knows that the opper is still on the position, because that hurts. Like, it's actually painful in my heart to watch that happen. Usually see that's a like kind of one of those moments where you're like, okay, so here's how I got here. And you peek at a 4, Galavant, he hits a shot in a drone. That's a nice one, but yeah, Subroza working in from garage, headshot machine. This guy for the NA region at least. Wardell with some more knives and a Finn, and all of a sudden KP, last man remaining.
Have their heads on a swivel there, expecting you know, even the most basic of cutoffs through that stage.
A really good read too, because they know that other than hazed, that's the only lurker that they usually have on C. And this A hit gonna come in, but the damage, let's see what can be done before the spike can even get planted.
Yeah, KP moving in right underneath that heaven spot. Right down the Wardell up on, I believe it was some crates, taking the shot with that operator. Galavant throwing in some knives, manages to find one onto Subroza. No real capitalization on it right now. However, Galavant continues to push forward, gets the third with their knives. And now things are looking pretty good for Oxygen. They just need to clean up one member, but it is Wardell on that jet. And so instead going to be wrapping around while the defuse.
Well, he gets a kill, so consolation applies to him. But yeah, that's a really nice retake from the defense.
4v4 style scenario here. KP about to have to deal with the Brimstone, wins it against Hazed. So now suddenly Oxygen, a breath of life, very appropriate for the Oxygen squad. But Drone, having their head on the swiveliest of swivels, managed to get these kills. Wardell, the almost point blank shot from the op, has to take down DSK. DSK pretty much having to just push into this op. It's going to be a very tough position, given Wardell's mechanical skill. But the zoning comes back. The molly making sure that Wardell can't take too aggressive. Jerk manages to win it here. The defuse just has to come through, and Oxygen has, again, that breath of life.
Which is not something you really want of a jet player, but it might be fair just to keep himself alive for just a tiny bit longer. Another B hit likely to come in. Smokes on the extremities, and Wardell watching for that flank. So aware, he's so good. And he's got that first kill, and Spike already planted. Now this is looking kind of rough, because the guns for the side of O2, somehow not the best. Looks like the Sage still has a Bulldog at her disposal, and that's the only gun. But Finn shot through the wall. That's a nice one on Subroza. And now looking a bit more doable, at least.
Yeah, Wardell feeling a little bit of this pressure as they missed that first.
Oh no!
And Cutler from behind hitting them with that automatic fire. It does get cleaned up by Finn, though. The orbital strike comes in. Hazed takes down DSK, and now it's a 3v1 scenario. Wardell going over the wall with the shorty, lands it, and that's going to put the final nail in the coffin here in this game between O2 and TSM. Enemy Team Solo Mid taking it 13 points easy.
21 minutes until I gotta go, so I told that girl I'm gonna slaughter it.